Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to share with you today something that I found very, very long time ago. And I wish I could remember when there's a poem that I want to read to you. And I don't know when this was written, but the person actually wrote a book and by the same title. And I can't seem to locate my book. So I must have loaned it to somebody over the years and never got it back. You know, that happens sometimes. And when that does, I just assume they needed it more than me. Um, but I really want to share this because, and I don't know, it was like, um, you know, um, how synchronicities happen. And the other day I was looking through some different books that I had and some folders and, clearing some things out. And I thought, what can I um, talk about on on my lives and give people some more inspiration other than just the journal prompts and the affirmation. And I opened this folder that had just miscellaneous stuff. And I was about to just toss the whole thing because I thought it was, like old receipts and things like that. And I saw a little corner stick out and I thought, wait a minute, what is that? And I pulled it out and it was this poem. And so it was the perfect thing for me in the moment that day. And that's when I decided I wanted to share that with you guys. So I am going to give just a minute to see if anybody shows up, or when someone shows up, make sure that you say hello in the comments because I'm doing this streaming with StreamYard. I don't really see anything unless you do say something. Because when I was doing it just strictly from my Facebook group, I could see if somebody was watching and all of that, and so I could tell, but I cannot right now. So I ask you that if you're watching to say hello, and tell me where you're logging in from. And another thing is, if you can, if you're someone who watches the replay, put hashtag replay and hashtag peachy vibes because that's what um, my group is. It's our hashtag is peachy vibes. Hello, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So who is that? Because I can't see there's not a name there. It just says Facebook user. And I know I've got some people in the group from Oklahoma, but who is this? Just go ahead and share. And I still haven't figured out how I can help it to populate. Okay, cool. So glad to have you here. And so I would love it if I could figure out how to have it populate names and everything, but right now that's not as important as it is just the fact that I'm able to do this. So I am going to take a sip of my coffee and okay. I was wondering that when I saw the name, how do you say that? And so I was going to say well, I guess Tanya would be it. I'm Southern, so I could have put a lot of syllables in there. So good to have you here today. All right, so the poem I'm talking about and is The Dash, and the author is Linda Ellis. And like I said, I wish I could find that book that I had with the same title from her, but I don't know where it's at. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read this before I get to the affirmation and the journal prompt. And just give me your thoughts because I just love it. I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following dates with tears But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time they spent alive on earth. And now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you lived your dash? And that's a lot of things to think about. And, um, as people, and me included, start looking at where we want to go, we're looking at our inspirations, our aspirations of where we want to go in our life. And a lot of times we're so focused on the end result that we're not living today. And there's a friend of mine that has a bucket list challenge that's coming up, and it is amazing. And so anybody that's interested in finding out information about that, it is Stacy Lauren on Facebook with the Do the Thing Bucket List Challenge. So you can look that up and join her challenge. It starts like the 10th or something like that. But it would give you the opportunity to maybe go in and look, what are the things that I want to do in my life, and find the strength and the fortitude to do those things. But not only that is as important to do the things the big things that we look for, right? Whether, you've always wanted to jump out of a plane and you haven't done it, or you've always wanted to go hike this mountain and you've never done it. Whatever those things are, those are important. But the things that we do every single day are the most important because it's right now. And so, like it said, whether that's you share a smile with someone. And one of the challenges I gave my group, Make Lasting Change, a while back, was to take the day and every person you interacted with, in your mind, you were giving them love and light. You didn't have to say it, but you were to smile, use their name, and act like they were the most important person in the world, because to them they are. And it is a gift that you can give someone that doesn't cost you anything. And the rewards are great just because you feel good. And if you look at the law of reciprocity, or however the hell you say it, but if you look at that, it's like everything good that you give out comes back to you. Now, that's not the reason that you do it, and it doesn't always come back in the exact same way. It's not like you give this great gift of love and light to this person and you smile and you ask them all these questions and the next person does that to you. No, it's the vibration, the energy of all of that creates a field around you that attracts that type of energy and excitement and love and light, right? And so living your dash on purpose, that's what I'm saying. Because most of the time we are so focused on what we have to do, me included. And so this was the day that I found the poem again, because it's kind of tattered. You can see it's well, I don't know if you can see so well, but it's got some tears in it, and I don't even remember when I printed this thing out. but it's been stuck in that folder. And the day that I found it was a day that I was having a bit of a hard time with connecting with me and feeling my purpose. We all, no matter what we're doing, we all sometimes start feeling like, oh, why am I doing this? Am I doing the right thing? Is this how I'm, I serve people the best? And that day I was questioning some things that I had going on. And then I found the poem and it was like, okay, let me just think about this a minute. And when I went through and read the poem to myself and really reflected on it, I was happy with where I was. And I felt that the things I was doing was exactly what I needed to be doing. So just take some reflection. So let me look and see what was the journal prompt and the affirmation. All right. The affirmation is, let me post it over here. The affirmation is, I am proud of how I live my dash. And so you put that on your index card, you put that on a sticky note, you put that like I take a chalk marker and I write it on my mirror. And so I can just take it off. And the reason I love doing that is because there's something about the way when you use the chalk marker and you write it on, it's like it's not just so flat. It's like it's almost like there you can see it several different places. Like if you're standing in front of it, I can kind of see it, the layers of it inside the mirror. It's really cool. And so it just makes it stand out a little bit more for me. And so I love doing that. Now, when I take the picture and I share it in the group, you can't really see that. But, and I do need to get a new marker because mine is getting kind of old. So it's not as bright as it used to be. So that's on my to-do list. But it's a way for it to mean more for me. So figure out what helps you with putting this affirmation out in your space to help you the most. And if I, like I said, if I still had the black refrigerator that I had before, I'd be putting it on my refrigerator because let's face it, we're in or I am anyway, in the kitchen a lot, whether it's fixing tea or just going in there to put something away, or I pass through the kitchen a lot. And so put it someplace that you will get the benefit, right? And then the journal prompt, oh, where'd it go? All right, so the journal prompt, let me grab it. And I was going to put all this on here before I got on here, but right before I got on here, I was creating them. So I didn't get done in time to do that. So here we go. The journal prompt is, how can I live my life on purpose starting today? And not even on purpose, but maybe just put a list of ways that you can, how did it say? Be proud of the things that you say and do. So what are some things that you can do? And like I gave the example of giving every person that you speak to love and light, giving every person that you come in contact with the value of looking them in the eye, even if you're on social media like this, which it doesn't look like I'm looking in your eyes because my camera's up there, but I'm looking in my eyes. How about that? And you can give someone your full attention when they're talking to you. And most of the time, people don't get that because with social media and with our phones and everything, when you're talking to someone, and sometimes it's something that's really important to you, a lot of times you will notice that they're looking other places. They're noticing the things that are around them. They're on their phone. And you can just tell that they're not really paying full attention to you. And so give the gift of someone else that you are paying full attention to whatever it is they have to say. And smile at somebody, whether you know who they are or not. And I know I've been places before where you could smile at someone and wave, and it almost felt like, whoa, you're in my space. But I live in the South, and like when I'm walking in my neighborhood, somebody drives by, I don't know who the hell they are. It's a huge neighborhood. I don't know how many people are here, and I don't know them. So, but I still raise my hand, they wave, I wave, and if I'm out walking and I pass by someone, we say hello. And, so adopt some of these things as a gift that you're giving someone, which actually expands the energy and the goodwill of your dash. All right. So, like I said, you write this on. Well, I don't know that I said that this time, but I will say now, take that journal prompt and write it down in your journal. And like, I have a person in the Make Lasting Change group that actually has a journal specifically for these journal prompts and affirmations, so that they can look back, as time goes, and see how far they've come, or the ideas that came up for them. Not necessarily that it's how far you've come, but what are those ideas that came from that? And so it is amazing to write these down and keep them. And you may want to go back to them at some point and use them again, because it's like I was telling someone the other day, I have a plethora of books. Like you can see them over here, you can see them behind me, and then there's a bookshelf downstairs, and there's books over here. And, so there's books everywhere. Most of them are some kind of personal development book, because I just love that stuff. And the interesting thing is, I can take a book out that I have read from cover to cover more than once, and I can read it again. And it's almost like somebody has put new words in there. Now, I know they didn't, but it says things that I did not even connect with before, because I'm a different person now. So when you have this folder or this journal with all these journal prompts and affirmations, you know, 6 months down the road, go back and look again. Not necessarily to see your growth or anything, or I don't know. But anyway, just go back and look at them, write them out again, and breathe life into them from where you are right then. So many different ideas and inspirations will come to you, because you are a different person. Like you're a different person right this second than you were 5 seconds ago. And, it's hard sometimes to fathom that, but we are constantly, constantly changing. And the thing that I love about the Living Your Dash is that you begin to be focused on your life and how you live it, and you make your dash so much better that the difference between right now and 5 seconds from now is bigger. You begin to be making this internal change, and nobody else may see it externally at all. And that's okay, because what matters is what you are doing inside. And that's where the growth happens. And if you have a life that you're not living the way you would like, or the things that are showing up for you are not what you want, then the only thing you can do is go inside and change there, because you cannot control any of the outward circumstances. But if you change inside, those circumstances change. So I give you the gift of the poem of the dash. And like I said, look her up if you want. Like I'm going to have to look up the book again, because it's been so long since I read it. I don't really remember anything, but it's the premise of this poem. So The Dash by Linda Ellis. And I think if I remember right, this is the printing from her website at the time. I don't know. And it's been so long. God, I wish I could remember I don't know. Um, it was probably 2018, 2015. I don't know. But it's something that just shows up in my life every now and then. I find it. And that's why it's tattered the way it is. You have an amazing, blessed day. I send you love and light and asking you to live your life so that your dash matters. Mwah.